Good morning, my loves. Happy Friday. What a week. Wow. Lots of stress, trauma, turmoil, little surgery tossed in on the side. But we survived, and that's what counts. And this is why we count our blessings and not the mains. Count the good things, not your problems. Problems can so easily outweigh the blessings, and we cannot allow that to happen. Yeah, work has been crazy. Life has been crazy. I've had surgery, just lots of stuff going on. But look at the blessings. I have a job. I not only have a job, I have a job I truly love. I love my job. I love what I get up and do every day. I have a new pacemaker. That is truly a blessing. Now, in Brenda land, when you receive a blessing, you share a blessing, because in my life, what goes around comes around. So if you bless other people, you can expect to receive blessings. If you treat people like crap, guess what? That's what you're going to get back. So, got a new pacemaker. I'm excited. So, I bought donuts, Voodoo Donuts. If you're not familiar with them, Google them. They're a hoot. But I got donuts for everybody at the office yesterday, just to share the blessing. That's just my belief system. So, find the good, and sometimes you really have to dig for it. And of course, it's Friday, so we're talking self-care, which, again, you're finding the blessings. It's been a rough week, but we survived. Even Finn, hang on, say hi, honey. Even Finn, he really does not have red eyes, I promise. He is not a scary kitty. It's just the camera. Has had a rough week putting up with me, and the storms just scared him no end. So he's been really traumatized over that, but he's fine. But we find the blessings in it. We needed the rain. We truly did. I mean, we live in the desert. The heat here is horrific. We needed the rain. So you put up with the storms. And that's kind of what it is in life. We need the blessings, so we need to put up with the storms. Find a way to cope with the storms, to manage the storms. Help other people light their path through the storm. If you learned how to survive a certain storm and somebody's going through it, help them light their path. My opinion, that's why we're here, to help each other and lift each other up. Now, self-care. For me, again, a Brenda thing. Part of self-care is self-maintenance. And I am not talking getting my hair done, which I really need to do, and having mani-pedis. No. Tomorrow, I'm going for my flu shot and my Pneumovax. Absolutely. It's part of self-care. I want to live a long, happy, healthy life. So I take care of myself. I got a new pacemaker. I eat healthy-ish. Gotta have an occasional cheeseburger. But I try to take really good care of myself, and part of that is my vaccines. And I know it's very controversial. A lot of people don't believe in vaccinations, and that's fine. That's your choice. I'm a nurse. I do. I have, I received vaccines growing up. My son was vaccinated. My granddaughter is vaccinated. We have never had a problem. In my own personal experience as a person and as a nurse, I have personally never seen anyone have side effects from a vaccine. I have never personally seen anybody that was vaccinated and had autism, that was vaccinated and had bad things happen. I have not seen that. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I have not experienced that. So I'm not doubting anything. I am just saying in my world, I have not experienced that. So every year I get my vaccines, my flu shot and my RSV and my pneumonia shot. And I'm not sure if they're going to release the COVIDs this year. Rumor has it that they are if you are considered high risk. High risk is anyone with chronic illness, and for those that are 65 and older. I'm 66. So yes, and I know, again, it's controversial. I will get a COVID vaccine this year. I do every year because I don't want to get sick, and more importantly, I don't want to make anybody else sick. People that I know, healthcare professionals that I know. One of my best friends, if she's seeing this, I hope you're feeling better. She has COVID. She's a doctor. And it's a virus. And with a virus, it continually mutates. It's like the cold. The common cold is a virus. It's continually changing so that it can sneak in to your system and attack you. That's why they can't, give a vaccine for the common cold. It's a virus, and it's always changing, always mutating. Same for COVID. We do our best with it. But it's always going to be changing. So I think it's just like the flu shots. We're always going to have flu shots. We're always going to have COVID vaccines. I don't mind. It's a pain in the arm for a couple of days. You might feel a little oogie. Okay, what else is new? We have a 3-day weekend. This is the perfect time, in my opinion, because usually if you feel crappy, it's going to be for 2 or 3 days. Fine, I'm going in the morning. I'll get my flu shot. I go back to work on Tuesday because Monday's a holiday. I'm fine. For me, it's self-care. It's just maintenance. Just like going to the doctor is maintenance. You are worthy of taking care of yourself. Honey, if you don't take care of you, nobody else is going to. You can't serve others from an empty vessel. You can't take care of your family and everybody else if you're sick. And there's an old adage, moms can't get sick because and I said it was old, because moms, back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, moms were the caregivers. Mom stayed at home and took care of the kids for the most part, and you couldn't be sick. You had a house to run. Well, I think that applies to more than moms nowadays. People can't afford to be sick. We have jobs. When I had surgery the other day, everybody's telling me, take a couple of days off. You have the PTO, the paid time off. No, I have a job to do. If I have the bank of PTO, and I have a lot of PTO there, but I never know when something, a crisis is going to come up, such as the surgery. My dryer's buzzing. You never know what's going to happen. God, I hope you're hearing, if I get a house, I'm going to need to take a day or two to get moved. Okay, I will need to use that PTO at that time, so I don't waste it. Now, I do believe in self-care. I thoroughly enjoy my weekends, and I decompress. I'm going to yawn. Oh, sorry. I rest, I relax, I rejuvenate, and I'm ready to get up and do it again the following week. But you have to take care of yourself. Don't overindulge. There's nothing wrong with having a drink, having a beer or a cocktail or whatever. There's nothing wrong. But don't overindulge. There's nothing wrong with pizza or having donuts like I brought to the office yesterday. But doesn't mean you have to eat the whole thing. Just don't overindulge. Exercise. It's important to get your steps in, to walk, to take care of yourself. That doesn't mean everybody has to be a marathon runner and spend all day at the gym. Everything in moderation. Everything except love. Love yourself unconditionally. Love your kids and your family unconditionally. Love your pets unconditionally. Love, how can I put this? Love is a gift that I give from my heart to somebody else's heart. Now, when I love somebody, I don't expect love in return. It's a gift. It's a present. If you give somebody a gift, you don't necessarily expect them to give you a gift back. If you do, you're a damn fool. Because gifts are to be given without strings. It's a gift from my heart to yours. Friendship is a gift from my heart to yours. That's just a Brenda thing. But love yourself unconditionally. Love your kids. Please make time this weekend. And it's a holiday weekend, so everybody's getting, the last camping trip in, the last boating, the last, going to the lake or the picnics, the barbecues, whatever. But make time to spend with your kids, with your family, and tell them, using your words, you love them, that you're so happy that they're your babies, that they're in your life. You're so proud of them. I talk to my son. We text. And I always tell him that I am so incredibly proud of he and his wife and what amazing parents they are to my granddaughter. A, it's true. But B, everybody needs to hear that. I don't care how old you are, you need to hear words of praise from your parents. My dad, mom died 30 some years ago. Um, and she would tell you you did a good job. She would speak highly of people. Daddy Daddy would try to show it, he couldn't say it. It was very difficult for my dad to tell me he loved me. He just couldn't do it. Not that he didn't, he just couldn't say it. Now, he would do things, but he just couldn't say it. I would have given my eye teeth for Dad to tell me he loved me and that he was proud of me. That just wasn't Daddy. He couldn't say that. Okay. But I knew he did. But I would have loved to have heard it. So I make sure to tell my son, my daughter-in-law, and my granddaughter that every time I talk to them. People I work with, I tell them I appreciate them. And it's not just, instead of saying, thank you, I appreciate you, because I think that is a new term people are throwing around a little too loosely. Thank you is still thank you. But if somebody does something nice for you, tell them, I really appreciate your help. I really appreciate your faith in me. I appreciate you standing by me. People need to hear that. Whether you're the employer, the employee, people need to hear that. And the other day I was talking to somebody that owned a company. We were just visiting, and they have issues with employees. I said, well, hang on. What do you do for employee appreciation? Well, I'll buy pizza for everybody. Or I may give everybody an extra day off over the holidays. No. How often do you tell people, I really appreciate what you're doing for the company? Well, I pay them. Well, good for you. You're supposed to. They work for you. People need to hear they are appreciated by their employer. They need to feel appreciated by the employer. If you want your employees to give 110%, treat them like they're worth it. Because when you start cheating your employees, I don't mean financially, although that happens as well, but when you don't tell them you appreciate them, when all you do is bitch, moan, complain, and growl, people aren't going to give you 110%. They're going to have a screw you, I'm clocking in, clocking out attitude. Please let people know you appreciate them. I've worked for some amazing companies that, back in St. Louis, the asbestos firm I worked for, they worked as hard now. I mean, you put in a lot of time and effort, but we were always getting tickets to the Cardinals games because we were just down the street from the stadium. They would rent out a party suite, and the entire firm would go for a day. And all the food and drinks were on the company. And that was wonderful. An amazing Christmas party. Just cool things that they would do in the summer. I know this was back years ago when I was there, but you would get, and they alternated every other week, you would be able to leave at noon on Friday. Now, for a lot of people, that's not that big a deal, but it is. Getting to go home early on Friday is cool. Everybody likes that. Okay. It counts. Getting tickets to ball games, getting, a massage, gift cards to Massage Envy or whatever. It makes a difference. And some employees are going to take advantage. You're always going to have that. But for the most part, people are pretty good souls. They're doing the best they can to provide for their families. They work long, they work hard. And so many are underappreciated or unappreciated. So I want you guys to know I appreciate you. I see what you're doing. You might be flipping burgers. You might work at a gas station. You might, work at a hospital, a doctor's office, whatever. I appreciate what you're doing for your family and, all the effort you're putting in. So I recognize it and I'm proud of you for doing it. I really am. So, on that note, have an amazing holiday weekend. Please be safe on the roads, at the lake. Have a good time. Rest, relax, rejuvenate, and enjoy that last holiday of the summer. The good news, fall is here almost. Well, not in Arizona. We really don't have fall. But I'm going to decorate for it just in case. Have a great holiday.